you can see, we are loaded down for camp this week. Log splitters side by side. We got the chainsaw. We got the weed eater. We got some chairs. So we're gonna get to camp. We're gonna work on the camp a little bit, and we're gonna have some fun. I think we gotta stop at one store. All right, so we are at the Dollar General closest to camp, and we got a package to open. It's taken a couple years, but I'm learning my lesson, slowly but surely. You want to open the package before you get to camp in case you need something, or there's a food item inside, and you can kind of build a recipe off what's in there, right? Well, this came from a good friend of mine named Ryan. Now, he told me this is food. Box is still a little cool to the touch where it was refrigerated. So we know there's food in there, but do we need anything else to go with it? I didn't ask him because I just kind of wanted to surprise myself. See what's in this box, because I'm very curious. Ryan has been a supporter of the channel since day one. He actually pushed me to do this before I even decided to do this. So big thanks to Ryan for all the support over the years, and the friendship over the years, and for sending in the package. So let's see what we're dealing with. We have, oh good lord, we got some instructions. Put something together a little more meaningful than just a package, something that shows how much respect I've got for you building Never Lost Outdoors. See what I mean? If you got a good friend out there, you hang on to them. Good friends are hard to come by. Week after week, you show up, put in work. That kind of consistency isn't easy. That's true. Doesn't go unnoticed. You created something authentic, something people can actually connect with. I'm proud of you. Inside this supply box, I tried to include a couple things that felt you. First, a knife. My favorite knife. He knows me all too well, and that is the most absolutely perfect of timing, and I'm going to show you why. Maybe give me 1 second here. Last night, using mine, I broke that off because these Milwaukee knives come with Phillip and flat little bit driver, and I use this thing constantly. I mean, literally as much as I use the knife part, and that broke off. So, literally could not be more perfect timing. Okay, cooking on a show. Here's the best way to do it, which I do plan on cooking it tonight. Dutch oven, campfire, or stove. An inch of water, cover the lid, let it heat. Okay, good. We have some very in-depth instructions here. Small way of saying, I see what you're doing, respect the hell out of it. Keep going, keep building, you're onto something. Proud of you. Oh. Well, again, thank you. That means so much more to me than you know. We have original, I don't know how to pronounce this, boudin. I think some people call it boudin. I've had this, but it has been a long time ago, like 10 years. And what I had came from Louisiana. This says certified Cajun Louisiana product, Scott, Louisiana. Good deal. This says boil or grill until product reaches an internal temperature of 165. Okay, so we got a bunch of different options. That looks really good though. If you saw the seasonings in there, has a Cajun kick, pork, rice water, pork liver, onions, green bell peppers, browning sauce. Don't know what browning sauce is. Citric acid, garlic, pepper. That sounds really good. Now, I'm curious to see what this tastes like, because the last time I had it, the casing was really weird, and I know that sometimes they use sheep intestine, I want to say. Could be wrong, but it was so hard to bite and weird. But the guy that made it for us was from Louisiana, and he boiled it. I don't boil any meat. I'm not gonna boil a hot dog. So I ended up just like biting the end off the casing and like squeezing it out like a tube of toothpaste. It just was not an enjoyable experience, to be honest. But that doesn't quite look the same. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run in here, kind of brainstorm, see if there's anything I actually do need. We're gonna get to camp and we're gonna make that, and I have a little appetizer planned that should be very tasty. All right, stay tuned. We'll be at camp soon. All right, we have officially arrived, all in one piece, I might add, I believe. Let's double check the trailer. I put 3 different straps on the wood splitter. That should have been pretty solid. Side by side has 4 straps on that. The chairs back here on the back are what's gonna be the most questionable, because I use zip ties to hold these still. But hear me out. The straps for the back of the side-by-side run right through there, right? Well, without these being tied up like they were, they would have rubbed the straps, and you don't want to do that because metal rubbing straps, it'll wear through. But all the zip ties broke on that one. The 2 middle chairs stayed, and then the top of zip tie on this chair kind of let go. So, but they didn't rub the straps too awful long, I don't believe. But anyway, made it all in one piece. The chairs were a freebie from a buddy of mine, and we're going to leave them up here, and we just always got a chair to sit on. And we brought up the Milwaukee weed eater because I'm gonna do a little cleaning up around here. Not going to go too in-depth on here over the whole situation, but if you'd like to see more of behind the scenes work on the camp, you should definitely check out the Patreon video that is up by now, because it's a good one. Good camp tour. Got some vehicles in the situation. We're down the river. It's a good video. But there was a couple things I didn't get to finish up doing in that video, which was splitting up all this wood up here. Well, I didn't have room to bring the log splitter with me last time, so I just brought the chainsaw and cut it up. Not this past Patreon video, the one I'm talking about now, but the one before that. That covers this thing and how this came about. So if you'd like some more info on that, check out that Patreon video. But anyway, we are going to do a little work, and we're gonna have a little fun too. Got the new recipe to try. I think I already mentioned the appetizer part. And of course, we got a new hot sauce, new camp soda, new snack. What else? Got a new picnic table. But that is also something that you'll have to watch that Patreon video on. I cover a lot of stuff in that video. But it is 80 degrees out here. A little windy, but being so warm, it's not like cold wind. It's not supposed to rain at all through this entire night. Yep, it's a good one. That river looks so good. Every spring, I get the deception, we'll call it, of the water being warm. Because the air is warm, the water looks perfect. You just expect to go down there and it'd be nice. Well, that Patreon video, I went down, kind of dabbled in it a little bit, we'll call it. It was not as cold as I thought it'd be. Still just a little chilly. But I'm also not good with chilly water. I'm the type to where I don't jump into a pool or river or whatever. I always try to inch my way in, and I'm cold and breathing in and out the whole time, because I've tried the whole jump in all at once thing. Not good. I hit the water. As soon as I come up, I'm just gasping for air, and it's cold and whatever. But Sooner than later, that river will be warm enough to get in. But that's okay. We got plenty of stuff to do other than soak in the river. What I need to do is get a little snack in me. I'm pretty hungry. Haven't eaten today. It's only like 3 o'clock, so it's not too crazy. But I do have a new camp soda that I would like to try, so I better get something in my belly first. What else? I had something else I was going to tell you guys. I already forgot. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to kind of slowly unpack here and kind of make up some kind of a game plan. All right. New snack. Sabritas. I don't know how to say that. I'm going to butcher it for sure. Peanuts, Japanese style. I don't know what that means. Probably some soy flavors, maybe a little ginger. But let's find out. I could go for a nice little crunchy snack right now. I think the last ones we did, what were they? I don't even remember now. I think they were the same company, but I don't remember what flavor they were now. Anyway, not much to see as far as looks go. You're not gonna be able to see it because the sun is so bright it's gonna block it out. Just kind of a light tan color. Definitely has soy, I would say. Soybean, salt, wheat flour, peanuts, barley. It has a little bit of that sweetness in there too. If you've ever had Bachon's barbecue sauce, like Japanese barbecue, I've had other brands too. It doesn't have to be Bachon's, but they all kind of have that vibe to them. But I like that flavor. It's really good. Very nice and crunchy. They're good, but there's no spice. They're not supposed to be, but you guys know me by now. Pretty much anything and everything needs to have a little spice to it. But I will definitely have a few more of these before we move on to the camp soda portion of the video. All right, it is way past time to have us a camp soda. This week on the menu, we have a Captain Morgan sliced pineapple daiquiri. The last Captain Morgan sliced, I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was halfway decent. So maybe this one will be too. I don't like pineapple, basically even a little bit. 5.8%, pour over ice, and enjoy fresh from the can. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy it right from the can. But, we don't need no ice. It's a hint of pineapple. There's also some coconut in there. What's in this? Gotta be more than just pineapple. I don't know. But the pineapple's not overbearing. It's enough, don't get me wrong, I don't enjoy it. But what a nice 80-degree April day. I'll say it's slightly refreshing. I would have one again, maybe. I don't think I'd really set out to find it often. I would say for that, it's got to be about a 5.5 out of 10. But it'll do the job for now. Kind of glad I only got one of those. I don't think I could do 2 or 3. But we got plenty of other perfectly acceptable and tasty camp sodas to go through this evening. But I guess, as much as I hate to, I could do a little workaround here instead of being lazy. What we're going to do, we're going to start with unloading this trailer. I'm not going to unload the log splitter because I just don't need to. The wood that I'm going to split is sitting there in a pile, so I think I'm just going to back over, throw the wood up, split it, make it in a pile. Call that good enough. All right, let's do it. All right, that's about enough of working for a few. That is the hardest wood I think I've ever split. But it's not very dry. It's a little green around the gills, if you know what I'm saying. But that's all right. Get the fire hot enough it'll burn. That's not the only wood we have. So I can always just save it for later, let it dry out a little bit. But pretty successful trip so far. Now, I do have a little van project repair, more of a repair than a project that I need to do. So maybe we'll do that, may start cooking soon. Those Japanese nuts, peanuts, whatever you call those are pretty good, but not very filling. But still such a nice day. Broke a little sweat. Splitting that wood, but you'll have that, especially being a fat kid. To most people, this is probably just pleasant weather to sit around in, but I break a sweat tying my shoes, so I knew that was going to happen today. Also having some kind of a sinus attack. Started sneezing there a minute ago. So that's not exactly fun. In the past, I have gotten like a weird, random, like springtime cold, so hopefully that's not coming on. But we do have a new hot sauce to try as well. So maybe we'll start cooking, try our new hot sauce, maybe repair something on the van. Kind of wanted to go for a side-by-side ride, but I don't know yet. Well, we're in need of a knife now, so might as well open up the new one. Well, try to, I guess. Hate to retire the old one, but it is hard to beat a new knife. Kind of like a new pair of boots, right?
New boot goofing. Oh!
All right, what we need to do for the first part of this recipe is we gotta cut up some bacon. So, set that out. We can just cut it right in half. Now we need some Patagonian scallops. This stuff all came from Aldi's, and it was pretty cheap. I've been recently hitting up Aldi a lot more often. There for a while, it seemed like they didn't have anything I ever needed. But if you go there and spend $100, or Walmart and spend $100, it is definitely a huge difference. All right, so what we want to do, actually I think this is going to be too big. I don't know why I thought scallops would be bigger than that, but they're kind of small. May try one this way. If you've never had a bacon wrapped scallop, you're definitely missing out on life. The bacon to scallop ratio may be a little off, so we may tweak the recipe a little bit. But you just want to grab you a toothpick, go all the way through. We'll do that like 75 more times. 2 to 1/2 slice of bacon seems to work way better. Fire's plenty hot enough, but I don't have my normal cooking device that I put on top of there. But got to look under free chairs. I think that's going to do just fine. So we're just going to kind of drag this over. I'm just going to put it around the fire. Had to make a little adjustment. It was kind of angled. The skillet would have slid off. Flip it over. Money. You know, if this can't believe it's actually, I'm going to start calling this something else that I heard recently on one of Plain Old Chuck's videos. I think I'm going to start calling this what he does. I can't believe they call this butter. This is definitely not. I don't know what it's made of. But this one has garlic in it, so I might give it a little flavor anyway. Now we're just going to go down with these. Scallops take no time to cook, but I do not like floppy bacon. So what I'm going to do is just flip these things like 95 times so that all sides of this touch the skillet and cook. I know not everybody likes super crispy bacon, but I like it to be slightly crispy.
Crispy bacon was born without the use of his
almost completely forgot about the seasoning. Now, I don't entirely condone Danos because, in my opinion, it is way too expensive. Now, I know it's all natural ingredients. It's not just a bunch of salt. Sure, it's not cheap to make. But where I live, these are pushing $8 a bottle. Every once in a while, I'll find them on sale at Walmart for $5. $5 reasonable, $8 not so much. All right, while our appetizer cooks, we're gonna try a little hot sauce or trip over a root. This week we have Freaky Ferments. It doesn't really have like a name, it just says ginger, cayenne, and lemon. This is out of Texas. Cody sent these up 4 or 5 weeks ago now, probably. So big thanks to Cody for this. We got a couple more to try out of Texas, so stay tuned for future videos. No fillers, added sugars, artificial colors or flavors, or preservatives. Keto, paleo, vegan, and gluten-free. Probably about the best hot sauce you could get, I guess. There's like nothing in it but natural ingredients, I suppose. Cayenne pepper, bell pepper, onion, shallot, garlic, lemon juice, ginger root, salt, apple cider vinegar, xanthan gum. So, let's give it a little shake. Give it a little taste. I'm very curious to see how this turns out because of ginger, lemon, and cayenne. Sounds pretty tasty to me. A little vinegar, a little cayenne, don't really smell anything else. So good. Every one of these Freaky Ferments I've had so far are tasty. Oh, that ginger and lemon go so well together. Really wish I had some Asian food to put that on. It would be so good. Not much spice building. Little tingle on the tongue. But it does say mild right on here. So, didn't expect to burn my tongue clean out of my head. Very delightful. Flavor wise, that's got to be close to a 9. I couldn't see much improvement on that. The ginger is just a touch harsh, maybe. 8.9 out of 10. That bottle is not going to last long. I don't know that this is going to make much sense on dinner. I didn't expect that much ginger and lemon. I thought like hints. But the next time we have some Asian food, I'm dousing it in that because it's going to be tasty. All right, I'm going to go check on my bacon wrapped scallops because they're probably burnt to a crisp. So I'd like to address an issue I've mentioned before about the post office, because I know that one of you sent a package and I am yet to receive it. And I do believe that it is Lynn out of Georgia. Didn't forget about you. I will have that package next week. I don't care if I gotta go find it myself. This post office is absolutely infuriating. It's crazy to me that the postal service can just be so like reckless with your packages, I guess. I don't know. So if you're watching, I do apologize. I know it's been weeks. I don't know what else to do. I've been patient. I've done everything I can do other than just yell at them, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying not to do that, but yeah, this is pretty crazy. But I definitely wanted to address the situation. Don't want to leave you hanging. Did not forget about you. Surely within the next week they can track this thing down, be open, let me get in there and get it. There's just always something. Last video you saw, I went in there and they were just like not in. They were just closed down. But it's like a government job. They probably take hours for lunch or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, back to appetizer. Should be about done. Then we're gonna get started on dinner. Starting to get a little crisp to them. I think my height off the fire could have been a little better, but well, you gotta use what you got, right? Make the best out of a bad situation. I don't know what the saying is, but should be shortly. We're going to be trying these things. I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be tasty. Alright, these are looking done enough to me. Nice and crispy. Let's give them a shot. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. That thing looks good. Scallop, wrapped in bacon, seasoned with spicy Danos. So good. All right, now let's try out the hot sauce. It's not Asian food. That has an Asian vibe. May not work. I don't know. But I'm gonna try it anyway. I can't imagine it's gonna be terrible. That would be good on any seafood, I do believe. It works well with that. So, I'm gonna go over here. Have way too many of those. And then, we're gonna start on a Cajun inspired dinner. Alright, we're gonna try some boudin. Boudin, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but I've heard it pronounced boudin. From Stop, apparently it's the best Cajun food. We're gonna try it two different ways. Way number one that was recommended is to wrap it in some foil. But this is probably the cheapest foil they make, so we better double down. Something like that. Now, and get this thing open. It's two in a package. I believe the original way they make this is in like sheep intestine for casing, maybe. Could be telling you wrong. Slap that on the foil. Make a little bit of a boat situation. Like that. Give it a splash of water. Don't know if that's too much or not enough. And you're just going to kind of pinch it up. I was told to do this loosely. So, would think that that would classify as loosely. Maybe. Then we're just going to sit it right on the back of our chair, aka cooking device. Then we're going to take number two and we're going to cook it in some bacon grease. Alright, here's the van repair we're going to do real fast. You can see that it's supposed to be up here, letting the bumper kind of do that. So I rubbed the one off the parts van and we need to install that in this place. Wow, that bolt's really tight for no reason. The one that came on the van rusted in two when we were in Massachusetts, and I found this, which started off as just a straight piece of conduit. So took a hammer, smashed it in flat for that hole, smashed that in flat for those two holes, and then I needed this bend. Well, I knew it wasn't going to last because you can't just heat this stuff, tweak it, and it lasts forever. Because when you heat and cool any metal, it weakens it a little bit. It kind of changes the atomic structure. That's not right. My brain's not working. I'm just going to put it here in the video there. But yeah, it changes that, makes it weaker, moves stuff around. It's never quite the same if you don't temper it correctly. And I didn't. I just heated it and bent it. And I knew that, but it was a temporary fix. It got us all the way through the rest of the New England trip. We got back here October 31st, and it lasted until probably a month ago, maybe. I just keep forgetting to change it. So quite a few months out of that fix. It only took like 15 minutes to make it, but I think we're going to fix it right. Hopefully that's the last thing we need, because I got sick of looking at that parts van and I sold it. Probably a mistake, but we're just gonna have to make do with what we have now. So, a little before and after. You can see from this side over to this side, quite a big difference. So, we'll get the other one slapped on there and see what it looks like. So, it's a little better. Came back like almost to where it needs to be, but I'm sure bouncing around for like a few weeks has probably just tweaked it a little bit. So I'll just get under there and kind of like, I don't know, maybe take a jack and push up just a little bit to kind of get it leveled back out, but much better than it was. All right, let's see if basically grilling it is better or foil pack. So I may have forgot to flip this one at all, so, oh, that's weird. It turned completely to mush. That was not supposed to happen, I don't think. I don't know what I did wrong. Definitely looks like straight dog dookie. Probably going to enrage some Cajuns at both of these methods, because I don't feel like they're probably completely accurate. But let's see what it tastes like. That's really hot on my hand. Just kind of try to pick up this mushy pile of stuff. It tastes pretty good. Yeah, it tastes really good. Last time I had this was like 10 years ago, and it was not good at all. Didn't even want to take another bite. That is highly tolerable. Nice and seasoned. Got a little kick to it. Looks bad, tastes good. The last time I had this, the person cooking it boiled that. I don't boil meat typically. I said, hey, why don't you just grill that? He looked at me very confused. He was an actual Louisiana native. I offended the guy, I don't know. I always said, if I ever get to try this again, I'm gonna try to grill it like a brat. That's really hot. So hot. But it's good. I mean, I can't say honestly that it's way better than the mushy way. So now I think it's time to try a new hot sauce on this. Couldn't swear to you that this is going to be amazing, but I do think it'll be all right. It's probably cooled down 1% now. Not bad on there. I'm beginning to think that that hot sauce would be good on anything. Oh, I got an idea. This is probably going to offend somebody. Scooping it out with my fingers probably will too, but I got an idea. That looks like a sloppy Joe or something. But let's just go a little bit of that there. Colby Jack cheese, why not? I feel like the cheese part of this is probably not okay with most people that enjoy this stuff. And then I'm just going to kind of break this one up a little bit. I don't know, that's hot in the middle. Yeah, that's really hot. Just throw kind of some of this on top of that cheese, and maybe it'll help melt that. I don't love the casing because it's kind of tough, but the last time I had this, it was way worse. Holy, that is hot. Wow, that's hot. Really got my thumb pretty good on that one. So just keep grabbing it. Ow, 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 ow. Go fast. I don't know. Let's try it. It's not bad. Since we've already wrecked this, and it's not traditional or correct at all, we might as well try the Jalapeno cheese we found in Dollar General. Oh, that's a tiny hole for no good reason. Any other time I'd rip the whole side of that out. That's pretty good on there. Surprisingly good. All right, one more try here. Get a little fake cheese on there. Now, get a bite of that. Oh, that's a good combo. Finish this up. Give me a minute. I think we can finally get rid of our chair grill now. Just turn it right back into a chair. Just like that. Well, we know that is definitely not correct. And like right there is not like hot to the touch from the engine running or anything. Could probably set it up on the glass, but then the glass is going to be colder. I don't know. Let's set it somewhere else. Definitely not 90 degrees. You don't be able to see it very well, but this chair is awfully flimsy. So I'd say it was probably better as a cooking device than a chair. I'm gonna try it anyway. Let's see if I hit the ground or not. And we'll just get back to our Keystone light. Fire's about out. It's getting plenty late. I think it's about time to go to sleep. Guess we have a visitor. You want to get in the van and go to sleep? Ramps, morel mushrooms, garlic butter. Now, we're gonna go in with some Robert Evans breakfast sausage. Now we're gonna go in with a little spicy Danos. Now going with some bacon. Habanero cheddar cheese for the sausage. Now, going with an egg. Egg is done. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Jalapeno cheddar sourdough bread. Bread down. Morel mushrooms and ramps. Cheddar cheese. Sausage and egg. Bacon. Top slice of bread. Well, that was a fight. Out of nowhere, the wind just started ripping through here. And now that I'm done, it stopped. Good for this audio. But yeah, that was a little bit of a challenge. But just look at the size of that breakfast sandwich. Fried egg, bacon, sausage, habanero cheddar cheese, ramps, and morel mushrooms. I think that's it. I'm really curious to see how this bread tastes. I'm gonna turn into like a python here or something. That wind just won't give up. That may be the best breakfast sandwich I've ever had. No exaggeration. Everything goes together so perfectly in that. But, you know, we got to try the new hot sauce on it. Again, doesn't sound like it would go good together, but that stuff is so good, I believe it would be tasty on a shoe. Well, that was one of the best breakfasts I've had in a while. But that's why I get so excited for this time of year, because ramps and morel mushrooms are my favorite foods, period. Maybe, I don't know. Definitely my favorite wild food that you forage for and whatnot. But some of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you guys know that, because every single year I do this. Now, if you don't know what a ramp is, it's basically an onion. It's just like a pungent, garlicky onion. But they do have a lot of vitamin A and C in there. And they're good in like everything, especially if you like onion. Green onions, whatever. Some people say they're way too strong. You do have it on your breath for a while. Don't care. I don't care if it was on my breath for the other 11 months out of the year I don't have them. I'm not missing ramp season. Now, for those of you that don't have them, that's because they only grow in the Appalachian region of the US, I do believe. And there's a fairly small window. Typically, depending on the weather conditions, it's like a month. Usually April, about May is about the end of it. And as far as the morel mushrooms go, it's basically the same story. They come in, for me, around here typically mid-April, at least a couple weeks into April, but they are a little more fragile. If you go out and find you a couple, you better just spend you a day looking, because if you wait a whole extra day, they might be gone. Because once the sun gets nice and hot like it is right now, it just dries them up, they're done. And if it gets too cold, then that ruins them too. So the delicacy of those, delicacy, that's not the right way to use that word, is it? The delicateness, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, that's the biggest downfall of the morel mushroom. Now, I know a lot of people do not like mushrooms, but these aren't your like typical mushroom. I think they have a way better flavor. There's a few of them too. White, black, yellow, gray, I believe. Typically in like hardwood forest, riverbanks, sometimes around sycamores you can find them. Kind of grow like some mushrooms do, right? But the flavor is so much better than any other mushroom that I've ever had. Some people say that it tastes more like meat than a mushroom, and I get that. I kind of side with that, because sometimes they're described as nutty, earthy. I don't necessarily agree with the earthy part. To me, a mushroom out of the can at the store is earthier than a morel typically. So for me, they're perfect on meat. If I can just have some ramps and fried potatoes and some morels on a chunk of meat, like that bacon and sausage, or my favorite is white-tailed deer venison. You throw some morel mushrooms on a big old chunk of deer steak, you're in heaven. Absolutely my favorite meal on the earth is deer steak, morel, fried potatoes, ramps, farm fresh eggs. Cannot beat it, don't care what you say. This wind is just gonna try to ruin my whole video. But anyway, I'd just like to give you guys a little insight on the stuff that I cook sometimes, especially regional stuff. And this video is perfect for that, because not a lot of you have the ramps and morels, and I don't have the I already forgot what it was called. Come on, you can do it. No, I don't got it. There's just dial-up internet noises in here trying to boot up, and it's not going to happen. It'll come to me later. The meat I tried yesterday, well, I call it meat, but there's a lot more to those than meat. Now, I'm not Cajun or from Louisiana, so I can't be exactly factual other than what I could find on Google. So if you want to know a lot more detail than I can give you, I would check there. But typically what I can see is it's always some kind of casing, and then it's just stuffed with whatever you want to put in it. I'm sure down there is like anywhere. Here we have things that, you know, we eat like everybody does, and then there's other towns and other cities that do it a little different. But that's the good thing with regional food. Sometimes you can find it just like you have it across the country. Sometimes just a mile down the road, someone's doing it way different. Boudin, hey, there it is. But apparently they make balls out of it. They put it in like crawfish boils and all kind of recipes. Typically, I think it's meat, rice, and seasonings. That one kind of tasted like a stuffing kind of vibe and flavor to it. So maybe it had some bread in there. I don't know, the inside of that thing was really good. I'm just yet to find boudin that has the casing that I like. But not upset that I got to try it again, because it's been a long time. So I definitely want to give a big shout out to Cody for sending in the hot sauce. I know we've been going with those for weeks, but he sent in like 6. I think I still have 2 more to go. And I will say, for those freaky ferments, they're worth looking into. I can't say, obviously, I've never had the other 2, but I'm gonna say, judging by the ones I've tried so far, I know they're gonna be good. These are some of the best tasting hot sauces I've had. And I'm guessing that's the fermentation process. I don't know. I didn't really know you could ferment hot sauce or how you do that, but it must do something for it, because it's tasty stuff. And big thanks to Ryan. I didn't skim read through that letter on purpose, but you almost got me. I had to take a little breather there. It was a little much for me now. But like I was saying before, been a huge supporter of this channel before it was ever a thing. Been a really good friend of mine for years. So big thanks for thinking of me and sending me out the package. That knife was absolutely perfect timing. You guys know that I'm not typically an inspirational type on here. It's more of like a camping and cooking channel, but this is a good video to say what I've already said once, I do believe. But if you got a good friend out there, make sure you let them know. Keep in contact with them, don't lose them. I know just as well as I have, you guys have had bad friends, right? And your definition of bad friends may be a number of things. They may have stolen off you, you know, borrowed money, didn't give it back, whatever the case may be. We've all been there. But it's times like this that really make me appreciate my friends, because I have some of the best friends that anybody could ask for, hands down. Before we get too emotional around here and ramble on for another 8 minutes probably so far, I just want to say thank you guys for tagging along again, like always. And if you enjoy what you see, think about hitting that subscribe button. It's free, let you know when I upload every Friday. And check out TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon. I think that's it. Definitely check out Patreon if you'd like to see behind the scenes kind of stuff, because so far everything that I've put on Patreon I've never shown on here, and I never will. It's just a good spot for that kind of stuff. Now, this past Patreon video that just went up, that one's a doozy. Lots of behind the scenes. There's a new campsite in there. There's doing some work to stuff, riding things, driving things. It's a good one. But if not, definitely tune back in next week here. Keep checking out the shorts, all that good stuff. I have no idea what we're gonna be doing next week, like always. I would say camping, but last time I checked, the weather for next week, around the time we go, looks good again. And we are gonna have a new package to open. I'm going to that post office and I'm gonna find my package. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.